Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Tales of a Student Nurse, where I make the mistakes so you don't have to. So like a lot of you, I'm a member of all the nursing forums, Facebook pages, Twitter feeds, etc. And one of the questions I see on there asked more than any other is, am I too old to study nursing? So in this video, we're going to unpack that a little bit and try and get to the bottom of whether you are too old to study nursing. I think there could be a few reasons that people ask this question. Some of the more common ones in no particular order would be that they ask themselves, has it been too long since I last did any academic study? I feel like I want a career change, but I'm not sure if the career that I already have will translate into nursing. And then one of the more obvious ones is feeling like you don't want to be the oldest one in the group, or that you might stand out or not really get along with anyone because of the age differences between you and your peers. So I myself actually wrestled with this when I applied for nursing 7 years ago. I then dropped out because I was having so many doubts and worried that I didn't have enough healthcare experience. And then 7 years later, I find myself, after doing the application process again, ready to start nursing in September. So I guess I want to go over some of these points to see if any of the things that I felt resonate with you. So the first point was, how can you get into nursing if it's been a long time since you last studied or did any kind of academic work? Studying nursing is really hands-on. It's normally taught 50-50, so that means you do 50% placement, 50% academic work, or I guess in a university. The good thing about this hands-on approach is that a lot of the work that you'll do will be based on your experiences and the things that you've learned whilst on placement, making it feel a little less daunting when you're completing those assignments. You're also normally paired up with a university, which means that you have an institution to fall back on if you feel lost or a bit confused, or you want support with your academic work, or even just being able to lean on peers that you know are part of the same group as you. There are a few routes into nursing. Three of the more common ones would be a nursing degree, a Nursing PgDip, so postgraduate diploma or masters, and then finally an apprenticeship. Entry requirements can vary as many universities set their own standard of what they expect. There is a common thread among them, so normally for a nursing degree you would need your 3 core GCSEs, so maths, English and science, 3 A levels or equivalent at level 3 study. A nursing degree is a common route for those that are coming straight out of college, or for those who are reapplying to do nursing and have been out of academia for a long time, because the first year is quite introductory in terms of anatomy and physiology and many of the other aspects of nursing. It typically takes around 3 years to do a nursing degree, although this can vary if you're doing a foundation year as well, which can take it up to 4 years. Entry requirements for postgraduate diploma or a master's are similar to a nursing degree in the sense that you will need your GCSEs and A-level equivalents, but you'd also need a degree. Some universities specify that they want it to be a science-related degree. Some of the universities are more flexible and will allow you to apply with any degree, but most postgraduate diplomas and masters will also need you to have around 6 months work experience in a healthcare-related field. This then translates into your RPL, which you will complete as an assignment, which kind of takes away the first year of your course, allowing you to do nursing in 2 years as opposed to 3. This is a common route for those who completed university in the past and went on to do a career and now having second thoughts about that career and wanted to move into something new without having to go back and do another 3 to 4 years of study. So this was the route that I myself took. As I said, I did apply 7 years ago. That was actually after doing a music degree. I wasn't sure that I wanted to do music anymore, but wasn't really sure how I could get into anything else, but having to go back and start from college. So I ended up getting a job in retail, and that made me get a little bit of a buzz for wanting to work with people and help people. At the time, I didn't know there was a 2-year way in. I didn't have any A-levels that were related to science. It was all music. My whole background was music. So I thought I'd have to go back to college and do 2 years at college and then do 3 years to do the nurse training, and then that would take 5 years. I later found out that I could do it using my existing degree and the work experience that I managed to gain after I'd worked in retail when I worked in healthcare, meaning that in September I'll be starting my nurse training but be doing 2 years instead of the normal 3 years. A nursing apprenticeship is ideal for those who want to study nursing but they're worried about accruing debt or how they'll be able to manage on a student's loan or income. So with an apprenticeship, you normally do it through an employer, so it's funded by them, meaning you won't have to pay any money back. They normally take around 4 years to complete, but they are a little bit more rare to come by as opposed to the other options out there. You'll still be doing placements and you'll still have to do assignments. Still have mentors, etc. Entry requirements are the same as they would be if you were doing a nursing degree, so you will need your GCSEs and A-levels or equivalent study. If you do have prior healthcare experience when undertaking an apprenticeship, you can use this to knock off some of the time or modules during your apprenticeship, so it can shorten the length of the apprenticeship. That was a very brief breakdown of 3 of the ways that you can get into nursing. I'm not an expert or specialist. I'd always recommend contacting UCAS or the institution that you want to apply to and speak with their admissions team, because they'll be able to give you specific, personal, tailored answers to your questions as opposed to a brief summary. The good thing is at the moment a lot of universities are doing open days virtually, so you could literally attend like 10 open days and not have to leave your home and get a good idea of what the options are available to you if you want to do nursing. The second point was, can nursing be your career change if you don't have any experience in healthcare? A lot of people do apply to do nursing without any healthcare experience and go on to be very successful nurses. That's because a lot of people rely on transferable experience. So in your interview, we'll talk about how you've worked with people, times that you've shown care or compassion in areas that aren't related to nursing, but it can still transfer over and show that you have those core skills. Another job that actually inspired me to become a nurse was, I said I worked in retail. I then went into hospitality. I was a duty manager at a hotel, and for some time we were having people who were vulnerable come stay with us because they'd lost their home. So they were living with us. So I think the longest the person lived with us was about 6 weeks. So I really got to know them and support them. Although I do have a lot of healthcare experience now in professionally and also just in my personal life, because I have Crohn's disease, so I work a lot with healthcare teams to make sure that that's under control. A lot of the people that I've spoken to who will be studying with me in September have not got healthcare experience, but they've talked about their transferable skills during their RPL and in their interview, and that has helped them secure a place on the course. Another main anxiety, I guess, or point that brought you to this video: are you too old to do nursing? So I've done a little bit of research before this video, and I did find out that the Royal College in Nursing say that the average age of nursing applicants or students is 29. Some of you might hear that and think that's evidence that we've changed, and that it used to be that people will go straight from college and now they wait a little bit longer. I also found an interview in The Guardian with the chief executive of the RCN from 10 years ago. Well, I guess more than that, it was 2009, and he explained that around that time the average age of nursing applicants was 30 years old. So really the gap between them is so small that I would say that's probably been the average age for a long time. It's thought that the reasoning behind this could be that they've faced their own issues with their physical health or mental health. They've overcome those and they want to help somebody else get through those same issues. Or it's the fact that a lot of people realise that nursing is a gateway into many careers. It's not just as simple as you become a nurse, you work in a hospital or a clinic, and that's it. You can go on to do social work, you can go on to do arts therapy, you can work in prisons, you can work with the police. There really is just so many options out there. I would probably have to cover them in a separate video to this. And then just simply, a lot of graduates spend years training, like I did, to do a specific career that they've decided they wanted to do throughout. I guess mine started in school. I was like, this is what I want to do. So I plowed on for 10 to 15 years chasing that career down. And then you realize it's not what you want to do and you'd like to change your career. And unlike many other ways into other careers, if you study nursing, you're basically guaranteed a job at the end of it. The statistics for this are that if 100 of us studied nursing, 94 of us would get jobs at the end, guaranteed, and the others would only maybe not get jobs, which is pretty crazy. The reality is that we can't move backwards, so you could spend the next decade mulling over if you're too old to become a nurse, the same way that I did, or you could just take the plunge and do it now. I waited nearly 10 years for this because I was so worried about either being too old or not being able to keep up with the academic side. Once I overcame those things and just took the leap, I applied and I just did it a day at a time. So I worried about what was coming up, not the whole picture. And now I'm just focusing on that first day, and I'm just so excited and I feel more ready than ever to do it. So if you are worried about applying or that you're too old, you're not too old, apply, do it, and then please keep in touch and let me know how you get on, because I'm just full of excitement and I like to hear how people are excited about it too. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, then please give me a like and subscribe. I will be doing more videos about nursing. I kind of want to do some vlogs, but I can't really do those until I start nursing, and I'm going to try and be as brutally honest as I can. So if I start it and I think it's absolutely awful or I can't cope, then you will be the first to know.